my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book haul. You know how in my last book haul I said I've been pretty good about not buying books? I feel I have to take that back because I have gone on a scary book buying spree the last month and a half. I will say now in my defense, I've gotten quite a few of these books discounted from Book Outlet, my local library, and just from the dozens of coupons Barnes & Noble kept sending me during the holidays. And then, you know, some of these books I got for Christmas. So, let's get into this. This is gonna be a really long video. So, first I have Freak Boy by Kristen Elizabeth Clark. And our main character, he was biologically born male. And he sometimes wishes that he was a girl. So I'm unclear on whether he is transgendered or if he is just gender fluid. I need more diversity in my life, and I saw this on Book Outlet, and I was just sold. So next is a book I got from my local library during an used book sale. It is The 13th Princess by Diane Zeller. And I'm just going to read the back flap because in my own words I probably won't be able to describe this well. I'm just going to read the back flap because I won't be able to properly explain it in my own words. Okay, and it is, Zita is not just any servant. She is the 13th daughter of a king who only wanted sons. When all of her royal sisters fall mysteriously ill, the only clue is their strangely worn and tattered shoes. Something sinister is afoot, and Zita must find the source of the enchantment and break the curse, or the 12 princesses will surely dance to their deaths. So I believe this might be based on the 12 Dancing Princesses. It's not a tale that I know a whole lot about. I only know the bare basics. I think I maybe paid 50 cents for this at my library's book sale, so you can't go wrong with 50 cents. And sounds really interesting, so it's a win-win. Next I have Driven by Kelly Armstrong, and this book has relation to the Woman of the Otherworld series. This takes place some point after the final Woman of the Otherworld book, 13. I can't exactly remember, like, how far after this takes place after then. I have to look more into that. But I know there's a few other books like this. I have one, and I plan on getting the others some point in the near future. And all I know is someone is targeting some mutts, a family of mutts, and Elena needs to step up and help stop it with the help of her pack. And next I have The Diabolic by S.J. Sinsade, and I've seen so many people talking about this book over the past month or so, and I've basically given it and bought it, because frankly it sounds pretty dang cool. Apparently in this world there are things known as diabolics, and they are basically assigned to protect a given person. And the diabolic in this book, Nemesis, I believe her name is, apparently the way to protect her charge is to basically become her charge. And that's more or less the gist of what I know. Next I have Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. And I've heard quite a few people talking about this book in the past. It's something that I've been wanting to get to, but they just never seem to have a copy whenever I go into bookstores. Eventually I just caved and ordered it online, so now it's in my possession. So basically, our main character, Delilah, there's this book, this fairy tale that she reads a lot, from my understanding, and eventually she seems to start communicating with the main character, the prince in the story, and it's been a while since I've heard the synopsis, so I'm probably getting some details wrong. But I believe that's the gist of things. Just, it sounds really cute, and I want to have something really cute in my life, so yes. Next I have Iron Darken by Kirsten White, and I don't know much about this. Frankly, I don't know much of anything about this, but I've heard people being really excited for this. I've heard some good things about this, and the cover was pretty, so I couldn't help it. I got it. So next I have My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George, And this is something I got from my library's used book sale. I was just kind of browsing the young adult section, or maybe it was the middle grade section. I can't remember which. They were kind of shoved together. And this book caught my eye. I had a friend who bought me a copy of this book way back in 8th grade. It was one of her favorite books, so she bought it for me on my birthday one year. And I don't know what happened to my copy. It's been so long, and probably made its way into the Goodwill bin at some point. And I saw this. It made me remember this friend who moved away at the end of 8th grade, and felt I had to get it for memory's sake. And it's a book that I have been thinking about lately, and it's something I've been wanting to revisit. I've just been wanting to revisit a whole bunch of books from maybe not necessarily my childhood, but just from the past in general. Being, curious to see whether I feel the same about them now as I did then. So, couldn't go wrong with 50 cents to go down memory lane, so picked it up. Next, I have Weregirl by C.D. Bell, and I know this book has to do with werewolves. Now, from my understanding, the main character in this book has a pretty good thing going for her, but one day she's running in the woods and she sees a trapped wolf. She tries to free it and gets bitten in the process, and lo and behold, she ends up being a werewolf. And I guess this has something to do with her, coping with that. And just, I love werewolves. I love most supernatural creatures, but werewolves are kind of like the top of my list. I like seeing how they're done differently, from story to story, from author to author. And I'm curious to see how they are done in this book. Next I have Divine by Mistake by P.C. Cast. And this is something I've read a while ago. I will say now, this is kind of more of an adult book than a YA book. I would not classify this as YA at all, actually. But I did remember enjoying it, despite, awkward middle school Megan being embarrassed to read it. Next I have Stakes by Kevin Hearn, and I believe this is book 8 in the Iron Druid Chronicles. And I've owned all the other books except for this one. Well, now I own it. Now I've fallen so behind in this series. I started reading it, I got a few books in, and then I got distracted by all sorts of other books. And it's something I want to get to soon. And I know once I start, I'm just going to be binging through it. So now I have all the currently published books, I believe. I think this is the latest one. So when I binge it, I can binge all of it. The next book I have is a book that I have read quite a few times now, but I did not have it on my bookshelf until now. And it is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, and this is book 2 in the Throne of Glass series. Now, I love the Throne of Glass series, and I'm glad to finally be able to add this to my shelf. It just looks so sad having a space between book 1 and book 3, and now that space can be filled. Next, I have Beastly by Alex Flynn, and I believe this is book 1 in a series. I think this is book 1. I know there are other books like this by Alex Flynn, and this one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And I read this a few years ago and loved it. And it's something I want to go back and revisit. This next book is also a book that I judged just based on the cover. The cover looked pretty, the title sounded interesting. I had a coupon for Barnes & Noble, and this found its way into my hands. And it is Rebel of the Sands by I'm gonna butcher this first name, I'm so sorry. Alwyn Hamilton. And I don't know too much about this. This is gonna be one of those books that I'm gonna be going into completely blind, and I am looking forward to it. These next 2 books are something that I've been wanting for a while. Or one of them is something I've been wanting for a while. The latest has come out recently. And they are The Bane Chronicles and The Shadowhunter Academy. I have not read any stories from either of these. And I finally caved. I finally ordered this from Book Outlet, and I got this from Barnes & Noble with a coupon. And they are in glorious hardcover, and they are both quite long, and I'm looking forward to delving back into the Shadowhunter world, and it's just gonna be awesome. The next book I have is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.A. Schwab, and I have not read any of Victoria Schwab's writing so far. And I feel bad about that because everyone seems to love her writing. I follow her on Twitter and she seems like a really cool person. And I feel guilty for not have read any of her books. They're just books I've been meaning to get to, but haven't because one reason or another. And because of that, I decided it's time to get some Victoria Schwab on my bookshelf and into my life. So really hope I can get to this soon. I've heard nothing but awesome things about her books, and I'm excited to get to this. Next I have Fallen Kingdom, Rebel Spring, and Gathering Darkness by Morgan Rhodes, and these are the first 3 books in the Fallen Kingdom series. Now, I don't know much about these books, other than a lot of people seem to like them. One of my friends read them, and she likes them. And we have a very similar taste in books, so I figured, okay, I need to get to this. The next book I have is something that one of my friends recommended to me, and it is The Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson, and she didn't tell me too much about this. She told me that it's really cute, though, and I need cuteness in my life. Cuteness is nice. She said it's really cute. It actually made her cry. So I'm both intrigued and nervous to get to this. Next I have Lives, Knives, and Girls in Red Dresses. I'm not sure what this is about. It's short. I have a feeling it has something to do with fairy tales. Possibly twisted fairy tales. But seemed really interesting to me. The title really drew me in, as did the cover. And it found its way into my book outlet carts, and now it's in my possession. And I feel this is just going to be a fun little quick read for me, which, sometimes you need. You need something short, quick, and fun to break things up. So next I have The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. In this book, once every 12 years, everyone forgets everything about their lives unless it's written down. As for how or why, I don't know. But our main character is one of the only people who hasn't forgotten. And I'm curious to see, how things play out. How, a world where everyone forgets everything every 12 years, how that plays out, how people change and evolve because of that. It sounded really, really intriguing to me. So this next book I actually forgot that I got, and it is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and I can't remember if I got this from Barnes & Noble or Book Outlet. Either way, like I said before, I needed some more Victoria Schwab in my life, and I haven't read any of her books yet, so now I have 2 of them to read. This is yet another book my friend recommended to me. Like the others, she didn't give me too much of an idea what this is about, but it looked cool, sounded cool, she liked it, so it instantly found its way onto my to-read list. And it is Charming by Elliot James. Just the cover alone would honestly draw me in. I won't lie. I've been very bad at judging books by their covers lately. Next I have Scythe by Neil Schusterman. I am sorry if that last name was butchered. And in this world, death has been conquered by humanity. And the only thing that can end life now are these people known as scythes. And I guess our main characters are kind of chosen to be apprentices to a scythe, and it's a job neither of them really wants, and just everything about this intrigues me. And it is something that I am excited to get to. Next I have Heartless by Marissa Mayer, and from what I hear, this is an Alice in Wonderland retelling of some sorts. And I absolutely love retellings. I really enjoyed the Lunar Chronicles series, and I'm really excited to read more stuff by Marissa Mayer. It's just going to be really awesome. I have high hopes for this, and just so much excitement. Next, I have books 1 and 4 of The Brotherhood Chronicles by John Flanagan. I can't really call this a companion to the Ranger's Apprentice series. Like, it takes place in the same world, but it's, I believe, following a group of Scandians instead of Will and Holt and everybody. And I got one other book from this series on my shelf, I believe. And I believe I want to say it's book 5. I got from Book Outlet. This was also on Book Outlet. And I figured, okay, I have books 4 and 5, but I don't have anything before then. So I went ahead and bought book 1. Next is another book that I just judged off the cover and the title, and it is The Graces by Laura Eve. I think I'm bad with names. And it just looks so cool. The cover looks so pretty. And I just wanted it in my life. I wanted to read it. These next 2 books I was so excited to get for Christmas, and they are Splintered and Unhinged by A.G. Howard. Now, I already read these, but I really love this series. I really did. And these 2 books I was definitely meaning to buy. And when my mom asked for a list of books that I might possibly want for Christmas, these 2 were on the list. And I'm so glad Mom got them for me. So these are now going to have a nice home on my bookshelf. The next book I have is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. And all I know about this is there's a school of assassins in this book. And that alone has me sold. That's all I need to know. That's all I needed to know to make this book mine. So yeah, it's mine now. It's going to have a home on my bookshelf, and I'm going to be really excited to get to it. Now I have Cursed by S.J. West, and a girl who I'm friends with still from my creative writing class a couple years ago was talking about this book in class one day, and it seemed really interesting to me. All I can remember is it has something to do with angels, and it's just something I've been meaning to get my hands on. And eventually, one day, recently, I decided, okay, this book, I'm buying it now. Next, I have The Battle of Hackham Heath. I don't know how that word is pronounced. I give up. And it's by John Flanagan, and this is kind of like a prequel to the Ranger's Apprentice series. I believe I have the other one somewhere. I might have already hauled it, I can't remember. And this is book 2 in that prequel series, and this focuses on when Halt was younger in his early years as a ranger. I'm really excited to be able to get a glimpse into Halt's past and learn more about him, and I'm just really excited to get to this. Then I have The Complete Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, and I feel so behind with this. I feel almost everyone has read this series but me. So many people seem to like it, and I want to hop on the bandwagon even if I'm a little late to the party. And I'm pretty sure there are a few more books kind of hiding over in the corner over there that I haven't hauled yet, but this video is going to be so long as it is that I kind of didn't want to go looking for them. So that is my very huge book haul. And yes, I might have just a teensy bit of a book buying problem. So yeah, that's my book haul. I am not going to be lifting all these up to show off the spines. I know I won't be able to do it, so I'm not even going to bother. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.